Yes, welcome back. Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Meredith. This is your girl Meredith and
I'm Jennifer.
oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so listeners, if you're just tuning in 8 to 9 every Saturday morning, you can catch us, right?
Yes, Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station, broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and the Lone Star Internet Radio app.
Yes, ma'am. And of course, we've got all the social media you can think of. So look up Grit and Grace Texas, look up Lone Star Community Radio. Stay connected, stay tuned because, I mean, it's greatness, right? So,
Yes.
if you are just tuning in, we are having a special show today in honor, of course, the great Father's Day coming up, celebration for tomorrow, which everyone, I think, is celebrating throughout the weekend, right?
Right.
Either you're celebrating or prepare to celebrate, right?
Yes.
But then we also have two great young ladies that are from Junkin' Gypsies Conroe.
Yes.
And I am telling you, now many have already heard of this business. I'm just kind of square. I just found out about it because Jen turned me on to it. But it's like a hands-on creation studio. I mean, it's just amazing the kind of things that they provide a lot of their customers, and certainly just the fun because we
Yes.
had a blast. So,
Yes.
and of course, when you do plug into us on social media, including our YouTube channel, you'll get to see one of the great products we actually created when
Yes.
we went there. So
Yes.
we were able to make our own art with our Grit and Grace logo, and it's just like so awesome to think that there's companies out there like this right here in our community,
Yes.
in our backyard, that you can create this cool stuff with. Makes you certainly seem like makes you look good, but really it's all their preparation on the back end. They make it easy for you. So we got that coming up. But yes, the top three in honor of Father's Day, and I want to play a little Father's Day-esque kind of music bed on the below us. Let's see how maybe we can have it. Nope. Yes, top three memories for Father's Day. I just like this song.
I know you do.
I love this song. She knows it. All right, so that being said, what are our top three this week?
Top 3 memories of the times our wonderful dads embarrassed us.
Yeah, that's true. Just because growing up,
Which is perfect since mine is listening this morning.
Oh, Papa Jeff, love you. And you can come back and respond and let our listeners know. In fact, ditto. This is, Okay, so yeah, just saying that invitation's open for you, Papa Jeff, when you get back, to let our listeners know what Jen may have done to you. So yeah, kick it off. Tell us one of those memories, Mama.
Okay. When I was in junior high, I was on the dance team.
Yeah.
And I was 12, okay, when my parents got married. I was 12.
Yeah.
So very impressionable. So I was on the dance team. And my parents show up to the football game, to root us on and everything. And so my dad says, Jen. And I look over and he waves and smiles and I wave and smile. And he goes and sits down with my mom. And then all of my junior high friends sitting around me on the dance team are like, ew, who is that? He's so cute. And I was like, no, that's my dad. No.
I totally can relate in some ways. Not my dad, but my brother. That happens with my brother a lot because we're twins, and when we hang out, people assume. But no, I can only imagine. Oh my gosh, that must have been something you were like, oh no, and you
like, don't think my dad is cute.
I know. Plus, you're like, can you do something? Don't get scruffy or something. Like you can't. How funny.
The man had a mullet back then, and they still thought he was cute. That was in, by the way.
I was about to say. I mean, business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
Who could say no to that?
Right.
All right, just saying. All right, well, no, and I can understand how that would be embarrassing, all right? I've got another one for you, which the irony in my embarrassing stories is I kind of have adopted many of the behavior that embarrassed my dad. Or embarrassed me from my dad, okay?
Right.
And actually, I have two dads. I come from a blended family, so I was super blessed to have a dad and a stepdad, and mom, stepmom. So I've been doubly blessed, right? So in honor of that, I'm gonna have to share the love on the embarrassment, right? So this first one is my dad. We would go to the grocery store. We'd go anywhere, right? And that does sound funny now. Okay, so we'd go anywhere, and he would just talk to everybody at the grocery store, blah, blah, blah. And it was always so embarrassing, right? I was like, oh, my gosh, he talks to everybody. It was just crazy how you would. And here I am. I talk to everybody, too.
Yep.
So just something there. But I remember many times at the grocery store thinking, Daddy, please don't talk to everybody in the world. But he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a very likable man. Mine is now passed on to the pearly gates, so is my stepfather. But they were both quite characters, and that was one of the things that I didn't realize back then, that I would be also, like, I do that, I'm sure, to my son or embarrass him all the time
Right.
with that.
Right.
Jen's like, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. All right. So what's your next top? Again, listeners, if you're tuning in honor of Father's Day, top 3 embarrassing moments with our dads when we were growing up, or, anytime. So Jen, you knocked out number 1. What about number 2?
Okay. I was 15 the first time I met who is my ex-husband. My best friend and her boyfriend and this guy come over so I could meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived in an apartment upstairs. So we were all sitting down in the parking lot, bottom of the stairs, just talking. Nothing's going on, Anyway, as a family, we were all going to the beach the next day. So, you buy those plants that have like the hat basket under it? Yeah. So, Jason and I are sitting on the bottom step, talking, getting to know each other. My dad comes out on the porch and says, hey, Jen, it's time to come in. We've got to get up early in the morning. And so Jason turned around and looked before I did, and he cracks up laughing, and I'm like, oh, Lord, what's going on? And I turn around, and my dad is standing there with his hands on his hips like Superman with the plant hat basket on his head. I wanted to die.
But I love that technique.
I was like, okay, Dad, I'll be right in. Go in the house.
He was letting him know there's a wild factor. There's a crazy factor there. Like,
so many years later when Jason and I actually got together.
Yeah.
Him and my dad bonded over that moment because Jason, I remember when you came out on the porch with the hat basket on, and there you go.
I would love to see that. Papa Jeff, please reprise that hat again. I would love it. In fact, it would be an honor for our listeners to see a pic. Just saying. We'll get that going. That is so funny. I love it. Well, and I could see how that could be embarrassing. You're what, teenager?
I was 15.
All right, I think I could top it.
Meeting this guy for the first time.
No, I feel you, but I think I could top it. I think I kind of shared it with you yesterday, and it's so
I think it's
fun.
pretty close.
It's pretty. All right, growing up, we'd go everywhere and, of course, go out and have, McDonald's and stuff. Well, my dad had a habit, and he was so funny. We'd be at McDonald's, and we'd be sitting there just, enjoying inside Saturday morning. We're 6, 7, 8, whatever. And my dad just kind of leans over, passes gas, and we're, like, mortified, right? And we're like, what? He's like, it's a bodily function. And I am telling you, like, of course, for my whole time with him, like, he just had no shame. He'd be like, it's a bodily function. Well, again, back to the adopting, okay, and flash forward. Now, again, I control it. But my son, I've taught him that. So whenever he's, like, passing gas, he's like, it's a bodily function. I'm like, stop! All the time, control yourself. Okay, now, I know that's not a pretty story, but I'm telling you, that was one of the,
that's hilarious, because I can actually see your boy saying that. Like, I can hear him in my head.
It's a bodily function. And so I taught him that because I learned it from my dad, which, even though embarrassing, so turning that around, it was so funny. So, yeah, I know we're short on time, but we want to get you our top 3, guys. Top 3 embarrassing moments with our dad in honors of Father's Day. Jen, share your number 3.
Okay, my number 3 is really kind of dumb, but...
Don't stop.
My dad used to be a truck driver. My dad has done so many cool things. Anyway, he was a truck driver at one time. I think this is how the story goes. Anyway, the point is he came home with this stuffed monkey. Okay?
Okay, I'm glad.
Like a stuffed animal, not like a actual, from a taxidermy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. The monkey's name is Nana. Nana talks.
Okay.
My dad is the voice of Nana. And, that monkey has gone on vacations, gone on to a Marine Corps boot camp graduation.
Now, was this
in his little dress blues?
with your little man? Like you can masquerade with a child nearby, or
No.
all grown? Okay.
Because, you figure I had 2 brothers that went through boot camp graduation, okay? So it's been that long that they've had the monkey. The monkey now has siblings at home, and my parents are their voices. We all hate the monkeys, okay? But
I love that this is apparently
yes,
this is still alive.
it is. It's still very much alive because my son now loves to play with Nana and Betsy.
Isn't
And
it?
when my dad calls and he answers my mom's phone, he likes to say, "Hello, is it Nana? Hello, it's Nana."
That happened like what, yesterday? That's
Probably, yeah.
Well, that's not too bad. It's just so playful, and I love that. I love playful. I'm all
It's
about
embarrassing
cheese.
when your parents do that in front of your friends.
Well, they haven't done it in front of me yet.
Well, now they will, since they're both listening. Now
All
they
right,
will.
so that's 2 on the checklist. All right. So, Papa Jeff, I need a cone hat. What is it called?
No, the Mexican hat basket.
Okay, I need one of those, and then I also need a little monkey talk between
Yeah,
the monkey people. What are they? The monkey.
yeah, the monkey family.
The monkey people. That's so cute. That's cute. That's not bad. This next one, I don't want to say it tops, but this is from my Dano. Okay, my stepdad, call him Dano. He's a wonderful man, passed on as well, but he was pretty even kill, right? There's not too much. I mean, he was hilarious, don't get me wrong. He was great with jokes. But when I was my first husband, has his mother's name is unique. It's Binda, right? So she's an amazing woman. I love her to death. Love you, Binda. Love you, Gamal. And so when I was having them over to introduce them to my parents, and I knew with the unique name that like I expected something funny, something weird from my brother because he's a little comedian. So I knew he would probably say something, right? Well, we go in, and mind you, this is, a mathematician, kind of Harvard graduate. He's not a square, but he was, pretty funny, but he still, he knew how, when you met people, how to treat them. First thing he says to my mother-in-law, "Well, hello, Binda. Binda over." And I was like, oh my. Mortified. This is the woman that was becoming my mother-in-law, and I expect that from maybe my brother. I love you, Chris, but you know what's up. You
Yeah,
would have done it.
I could see Chris saying that.
But Dano, I almost fell out right there. I was like, oh my goodness. Now, luckily, Binda's an amazing woman, has a great sense of humor, and knew, obviously, people, probably said something similar to that, and she was just really cool about it. But I remember I was just mortified. The rest of my time, I was like, the rest of the night, I was like, oh my gosh, Dan, please don't say anything else. Because now it's like, I didn't know what to expect. It was crazy. I would have never expected Dano to say that. And then it just was hilarious. So that was an embarrassing thing with Dano, and that was so funny. So, yeah, you just heard our top 3 memories. We're not going to recap them because, when you have those embarrassing memories, you don't want to recap. So we're just going to move on.
Once is enough.
Yeah. So if you want to catch them again, you got to check us out on the YouTube channel later in the week. And you're actually listening to us on Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1. Also on irlonestar.com and the IR Lone Star app if you're tech savvy and you want to make sure you're with us all the time, which happens to be what's going on with a girl friend of mine, Linda. She's taking a road trip and she's got us on the app. Got family up in Missouri that has the app plugged in. So it's definitely something you want to check out too. Look in your Google store, your app store, look for IR Lone Star and you'll be able to find us. We started as internet radio, so that's where the IR comes from, but we are live on the FM, darling. And
That's right.
We've got even more channels, mediums, everything. Think of it. And we are on it for the most part. Just look up Grit and Grace, Texas. So that being all said, we got so much more coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and then we've got our special guests from Junkin' Gypsies Conroe, Miss Stephanie and Miss Patty. They're going to be joining us and sharing about this great business right here in our backyard. So stay tuned to more Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth.
Doing business and
Thanks so much for tuning in this week, guys. Be sure to check us out every Saturday live, 8 to 9 on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1. Also on irlonestar.com. But more importantly, subscribe. Let us know what you want to hear. Leave us your comments, right?
Yeah.
We want to hear from you, all right? Check us out online, too. Where can they find us online? Damn it, woman, that's what you're supposed to say, the social media. gritandgracetexas@gmail.com. Online, all our social media platforms are at Grit and Grace Texas. Be sure to connect with us, guys.